A burning question for some people is why I do not show video footage of my deliveries. I'm going to explain that for the most part on this segment of the Gig Geezer. If this is your first time checking out the Gig Geezer, if you're a returning visitor of the Gig Geezer, thanks for coming by. And if you would not mind, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. Today is Friday, December 8, 2023. And for whatever it's worth, this is a 1-year anniversary in which I filed paperwork with South Carolina's Secretary of State, filing for the business transport operations, the actual paperwork for the LLC. That was done a year ago today. I'm in the midst of starting a last mile delivery opportunity in which I have reached some, as you see to the left, that is Shaw Air Force Base, and I am going to pick up some type of construction equipment, and it is likely to be a store-to-store transfer with the place. This is not the first time I've picked up from this particular business, but it's been at other locations. But more than likely, it's usually rental equipment, construction rental equipment that is often been, in my experience, a store-to-store transfer, or an actual pickup to where it's been brought back to the store, or it's been actually a situation in which it was taken out to a construction project. We shall find out very shortly. Now, I'm going to explain up front why I'm not even going to say reticent to documenting actual deliveries. If you go back into the Gig Geezer archive, which dates back to 2021, I have never shown an entire delivery process in which I've shown footage of me driving up to the place, my interacting with the person for the pickup, showing me carrying the items back to the vehicle, and then footage of me going to the drop-off location, and then my interacting with someone, and then handing them the items or placing the items where people wanted to go. I've never done that. Another reason why I've not documented everything is because I have one video source, and that is this phone that I'm talking into. I've never invested into another phone, nor have I ever considered investing into a GoPro. In fact, in recent comments that I've seen on the Gig Geezer channel, folk have asked me this question, and I've posed to them, hey, why don't you buy and send me a couple of GoPro cameras, and then I will document things as what you've been inquiring about. I've not gotten any reply. This is my channel, and I have done things as I've seen fit. I'll go even farther. Those who know me over the decades, namely family members, those people are in a very small circle that I have. It is safe to say that they will all tell you that I march to my own beat. I've always been that way. I got it honestly, and I don't need to refer to whom I got it from, but it is an honest trait. And so I've always done things slightly different. Whereas everyone does what I've described already with the documenting of the entire delivery process, I've not done that. But if you ever pay attention, I have done parts of it. And if you ever pay attention, I've shown the actual receipts. For example, like with the brokered opportunities, I've shown screenshots of the rate confirmation sheet, or the rate page in which what I was paid, and then I've shown actual pictures of what was picked up and what was dropped off. And by the way, for whatever it's worth, that same information that I've shared with y'all is the same information that I submit when I submit to my factoring company in order for me to be paid sooner than later. Some have asked me, what is that factoring company? OTR Solutions. There's a link in the description section below on this video. So what I've shared with you is what other people already see as well, and for far more important reasons. I have shown screenshots of the payment of many last mile delivery opportunities. I've also shown screenshots of what was earned for the gig food delivery opportunities. Same thing. And with catering opportunities, same thing. I've shown screenshots of what was the stuff in the bags or how it's packed into the van. Previously, it was how it was situated into the F-150, and then I have shown how it was set up at the customer, the actual customer, the drop-off location, and then I've shown most times a screenshot of the earnings page. So the Gig Geezer do provide receipts, but I don't apologize for not showing video documentation. But since we're not far the pickup location for this particular video, I'm gonna yield to some video footage of me driving to the pickup location, and then again I will show the actual item that's being loaded into the van or was loaded into the van by video format, and then we'll resume the conversation. Alrighty, so I am loaded up and gassed up, head to the other side of the state. As you see there on the inset, whatever this is some piece of equipment that is going to be going to an actual customer and not to a store-to-store transfer. It's an actual business, and they need this piece of equipment to do what they need to do. What was interesting on the delivery instructions were the measurements, and there was a call for a high roof van. Now, I was concerned, but then again, I wasn't concerned, because first of all, I'm thinking is there another way of fitting it in? Because the actual length of the width of the item was 6.5 foot long, 6.5 foot. At least the way it should be properly loaded in. But come to find out, no, you didn't have to load it in that way. If you had a forklift, all you had to do was narrow your forks, as you see here on the inset, and load it in long way. And then what I was able to do was block it in with the E-Track system. Now, from previous experience, from a previous experience up in Charlotte, I did have a situation whereby it was going to pay nice. It was going to pay like $200. I'm rounding it up to $270. I think the exact amount was like $269 and change. It was to deliver 3 refrigerators and I believe a couple of washing machines. Well, what I didn't pay attention to was that this was for a high roof van. That was for a high roof van, and I couldn't finagle those refrigerators, and I had to give up that order. That's the only time I've ever taken on a last mile delivery opportunity in which my van was not capable. Usually, I kind of know. I've talked in the past about knowing your dimensions, knowing your capacities and all. Usually I make a pretty good call on that, but on that particular situation, I got greedy. I'm not gonna say thirsty because of the dollar amount involved, but I got greedy, and it almost got burned. Now, again, we're leaving Sumter, and so what I'm gonna do is get back with you once we're on the other side of the state near the delivery location. I guess I didn't do a good job of documenting my driving into the drop-off location. It turns out, according to the map, where the map led me to was like an intersection, and that intersection was not where I was supposed to go. In fact, where I had to go was a plant that was about 5 minutes or so beyond, or going back towards the actual town of Enoree. And Enoree, at least based on what I see, at least the main drag that's going through here, there are no stoplights. But it's actually my first time through here. It's my first time of actual recollection driving through here, despite the fact that I lived on this side of the state for 7 years over in Spartanburg, which is about probably another 15 minutes or so, from 20 minutes from this actual spot. So where I dropped off to was an actual large polymer plant, and there is a work crew that needed this piece of equipment, the piece of equipment that I transported was what's called a bender table. Don't know what it's used for or anything like that. I have zero industrial experience, but that's what I transported, and it took me all of about almost 2 hours to get here. The biggest time consumption was finding the place. As it turned out, where I came out on this winding road was onto the main drag that goes through Enoree, but at the same time, it did not show up on the map, because what was shown on the actual bill of lading, or on the actual bill of lading, you're looking for this actual company, but they are actually on location at this polymer plant. In fact, I am aware of this polymer plant having multiple locations here in Spartanburg, either through Spartanburg County and nearby Cherokee County. So, how much did I get paid on it? That amount right there. You see the actual item that was pushed off by the crew. It's you saw that very small clip of a couple of seconds of it, and hopefully you like what you saw there. And by the way, if you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer, or in any other segment of the Gig Geezer, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane, and as always, may your grind and may your hustle continue.